Thank you for that, Morgan. We're back. We've been back less long than the last time, but I will say, just for context, the last time we did this, Heather was dressed up as Loki, and Morgan and I were speaking vampires.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to dive immediately into the recap, and then we'll go from there.
I don't have a cloak. I have a hood today.
Yeah. Started early. Apologies.
Oh my god, there's two of you!
On Band of Blunderers. Oh, problem solvers, you've gotten yourselves into it this time. Last time, you had conversed and met with your good friend, Corin Dawnhammer, and discussed what she's doing in the Lost City of Glass, why she led you here, and what she wants here. She revealed to you that an original inhabitant of the Lost City of Glass, which you knew before, that she just wants whatever is going on here to stop. She didn't have a ton of insights into what was happening, but she was familiar with Caretaker, the villainous, what seems like an AI that has been taunting you and guiding you through your time here in the city. Also, as a reminder, you're still all dogs. She led you through the city the following day, and the day after that, towards the center of the city, out of the Bright District, and into where Project Elysium, the nation-state project, is said to take place. Along the way, you were pursued by the robot cops, truly the worst kind of cops, before meeting what looked like an empty field leading to a large red crystal. That terrain ended up being illusory, forcing you all to confront horrible memories and horrible visions of what you worry the future may look like. But, banding together and dragging some members of the party through it, you all made your way through the illusory terrain into the gem that holds Project Elysium, being pursued by an ever-growing amount of robots. Upon reaching the platform holding the red crystal, there were a number of bridges that connected the mainland to the platform around the crystal. Not finding a way down or around, you crossed the bridges, broke one of them in order to give yourselves more time, and then try to figure out where to go from here. RML turned into a bird, attempting to get some sightlines on what might be happening, while Marleman, deciding that the only true way forward is forward, laid a hand upon the crystal and then dove inside, finding it to not be a crystal, but a smooth, gelatinous, multifaceted orb that absorbed him, flaying him alive, although he felt nothing, because on the other side, his brain picked up as a beautiful green verdant forest leading to a wonderful green field with a dirt path and a voice that came from above. Organic number 8,733 successfully assimilated.
I forgot about
that. So,
I remember him going through. I didn't remember the assimilation part.
Yep.
It's only fitting that would happen to me.
Yes.
Considering that was my fantasy football name.
Yes.
So, for the record, I remember those things happening, but what I don't remember is, did we, see him get flayed?
Yes, you were out of the room. Yeah.
That's what we think happened, is just he got flayed alive.
Correct.
And then we
just saw him, his skin just, disappear layer by layer or whatever as he was...
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, how... I want to make sure I remember how...
You guys... So we'll do this in two parts, and I'll let you decide which side we want to jump into first here. This session is probably going to take some back and forth, depending on what choices are made. You guys saw Dog Marleman go into what you thought was a crystal.
Oh no, I forgot Dog!
Yep. Saw Dog Marleman go into what you thought was a crystal, get sucked into it, and then watched layer by layer it get pulled apart and dissolved, basically, by whatever is going on in there. But I've heard nothing since. The only things that you know is you saw that, you have a destroyed bridge behind you where an army of robots are attempting to figure out how to come and fuck you up on the platform you're on. Marleman, on the other hand... I'm in danger! Marleman, on the other hand, is standing outside of a beautiful green forest, staring at a green field with a dirt path running through it, and has heard from the sky organic number 8,300 or 733 successfully assimilated.
Good.
Which side of this
Right.
would you all like to start on?
Marlins.
And can I ask, like, I don't know, can I see if that voice will respond to me?
You didn't hear a voice.
Oh, I thought you said.
I did.
Said.
No,
Marlon heard it.
I am dead. I am.
I understand what Nick saw and heard exactly. Okay. So she didn't hear that part.
No, all
No,
you've
we
seen
just
is
saw him
the
get flayed
horror.
alive.
Okay, so never
Yeah.
mind. That would change how she.
Yeah,
reacts.
we
Okay.
saw the like Cronenberg shit, and then he saw the
Wonderful.
other side.
So votes for start with Marlon, votes for outside team.
Are we
Marlins.
all together?
Marl-
No,
Uh,
it's
The
more.
rest of us are all together,
Yeah.
and then
Marlon
Marlon is inside of a fucking obelisk
I
computer,
see.
whatever.
Okay.
gone.
All right, so we'll start on the Marlon side of things.
Yeah.
So Marlon, after jumping into this warm jelly-like liquid, your mind went blank for a second, but has now found yourself with legs, hands, and thumbs again, standing in the warm sunshine outside of a beautiful field. You heard a weird voice say what it said above you. What would you like to do?
Can I see anyone else? Is anyone else near me?
Nope.
Hmm.
Make a perception check.
Is he still?
All right, we're diving in with caged dice.
That's a good question. The one that you
Going
were
in.
going at.
First roll of the day, first roll of the year is going in. We gotta get rid of this dice jail one.
Natural 2022. That's what they call it.
Yep.
Parrot.
That's a 10 plus 3. It's a 13.
Okay.
There you go.
And
You don't
this is
see
going
anyone
back in
around
the dice
you?
jail.
You do notice that there are no clouds in the sky. It's just kind of like an expansive blue. You also can't immediately see a sun. Everything is bright and sunny in daylight, but you don't see a source of it. But you do see maybe, well, it's hard to tell, but you do see a small pinprick of white against the giant blue background. Hard to tell how far away it is, but there is one source of different color among the sea of blue.
Can I call out to the computer or to what I think just said that? Like
You can do whatever you want.
who said that?
I did. It's nice to see you, Marleman.
Who's this?
I am, and then you keeping an eye on that little
Yeah.
speck of white among the blue. You do notice that it is getting bigger as it flies towards you, and you realize it's actually only about 30 feet away from you. It's just small. As this little ball of light, no bigger than maybe slightly bigger than a golf ball, kind of hovers up next to you and says, "I'm the help program. It is delightful to meet you."
Nice to meet you too, Help. Can I call you Clippy?
No.
No, I'm not looking to make a resume.
What's a clip?
What am I doing here? Am I in the computer now?
You've been successfully assimilated into Elysium.
Can we not use that word? I don't like that word.
You've been successfully.
See, if you said another Star Trek reference, if you had said joined, that would be okay.
You've been successfully absorbed into Project Elysium.
Oh, I don't like that even. That's worse.
Yeah, this isn't going great.
How can I get out? Or am
Certainly.
I would like to. How do I get out?
It kind of flies behind you back towards the forest.
You follow? I guess I'm gonna follow him through the forest.
Oh no, I cannot go through the forest. But if you go through the forest, you will be returned.
In my body? Do I wait? I need to ask you a question from the
The
outset because
silence says it all.
I forget if I knew that I died. I don't think I knew I died.
You know
right?
nothing. Like you
Okay.
felt pleasantly warm and like floaty, and then like there was a bright white light, and now you're here.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
So for what you know, you're back in your human form, and you can tell that like there's something amiss. But for all you
Yeah.
know, there's just a dog floating in like some weird red cube behind that forest.
Did he reform in this place as a dog or as a human?
No, I'm
No,
human.
he's a person again.
Okay.
Jeez. I get what is there to do? What is the purpose of this area? Help.
The purpose of this area is to eliminate all the stresses of natural life. Here, you are perfect. Here, you are happy.
Where is here?
Here is Elysium.
Okay. I think he's pacing. I think Marlon is pacing at this point because he's like, why did you do this? You always do this. You always fucking do this. I know you're human. You got thumbs, right? But
Would you like some tea?
Why do you always?
Would you like some tea to de-stress, Mr. Marleman?
No. I think I want to leave.
Go right ahead. Again, it flies towards the forest. As a way of gesturing, since again it is a golf ball size white light.
I mean, can I? I know I've already done this, but could I perhaps do another perception check to, like, where am I? Am I like on a hill? Can I see how far into my horizons can I see?
So right now you just see the forest behind you and the green field ahead of you with a dirt path that seems to lead through it. The dirt path seems to continue with like a leftward turn and disappear into the horizon, but it's hard to gauge distances when everything is just kind of samey.
Hey, help. Can I?
Yes.
I'm just going to start calling him H. Hey, H.
Yes.
Can
you can call me by my acronym.
What? I'm sorry.
My full name is
your acronym.
My full name is the Handy Everywhere Learning Program.
Handy bot.
Okay. Okay. Help.
Yes.
Can you tell me where this path goes?
Where would you like it to go?
I don't like that answer. Are there any other humanoids in this
Of course.
system?
There are 8,732 other organics here within Elysium. Would you like to meet one?
Is there like a city?
There can be.
Are they all living in their? Okay, are they all living in their own little pasture?
They can be.
Oh no.
I mean, how many? Was this project ever successful? How happy are these people?
We are all happy within Elysium.
Don't like that answer either. Yeah, sure. Can you? Who's been in here the longest?
8,730 organisms all were uploaded simultaneously.
Whoa.
Or assimilated. He uses assimilated, not uploaded.
Whose idea was this?
Bertrand Dawnhammer.
Are any of the creators in this system?
Of course.
I'd like to meet the topmost creator.
Certainly. And like the little golf ball of light actually expands into a square that then opens up and says, when would you like to schedule the time?
Now.
The next availability for Bertrand Dawnhammer is in 5,399 clicks.
What is that in time frames in human speak?
We only follow clicks here. There's no equivalent to the outside world.
As a programmer, I'm like, I like what you're doing here because you have created two things to me. One is Swatch internet time.
Yep.
And the other is the JavaScript on beats, or I forget what they're called. But okay. Is there anybody I can talk to right now that could tell me more about the project?
Certainly.
Can you make that happen?
Of course. Follow the path. And it flies back around. It turns back into a ball and flies back around towards you, towards the dirt path.
All right. Morgan needs to do something real quick, which is he needs to flip a coin.
Word.
Because I equally want to go through this and equally also want to make sure my friends know I'm not obliterated.
You don't know that they think you're obliterated.
Yeah, we don't. We just think you tell. You think you just.
You
tell
do
them.
notice that no one has followed you.
That's why I'm. Okay, so heads, I follow the path. Tails, I leave, and I got heads, so I'm following the path.
All right, you start walking down the path. Outside.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you need to make a transition now, and
Yes, this is a good transition point. Outside, it is the five of you and Corin as a cat. You're standing above the broken bridge. You have watched a dog get flayed alive. I believe Armil is still a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Just some reminder for what you're looking at. You're on a concrete platform about 80 feet wide or so that goes in a circle around this what appears to be floating red crystal. You've now established that it is not solid because you watched something enter it, but from the outset it looks like a crystal. The entire platform seems to be about 2 football fields in circumference, so all the way across. And there are 4 bridges that connect it to the rest of the city. The one you're standing at has been shattered thanks to the efforts of Sai and Corin. I believe Trev as well assisted in
I don't
breaking this
remember
thing.
any of this.
It's either way, you guys broke the bridge to try and stop the robots from getting there, at least for a little bit of time.
How'd that do?
It worked. The bridge is broken, at least.
Good.
Yeah.
Good job.
What it means for the robots, we'll get to in a second. Aramil, on your flying around scouting mission,
Yes.
there is no overhead to this. The crystal is kind of to the sky, so to speak. But underneath, there is a incredibly deep cavern with a number of green lights lighting the side. You guys have not found a way down into this cavern, but you do know it's there because you're standing above it. In your kind of circle-y-do, you saw no way into the crystal, and only the now 3 bridges off this platform. You did not see any ladders or anything like that to get down.
Okay.
I don't know. I think we saw one way in.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
This doesn't seem so good.
Well, okay, you saw a way into the crystal now.
If I saw Marleman go in, I would like immediately fly back and
Okay.
Aramil form.
You do so.
Guys, what?
I'm not sure.
So, okay.
Okay. What's the cat's person's name again? I'm sorry.
Corin?
Corin, thank you.
What's up?
Did Aramil see that? The flaying?
Yes, it was very noticeable.
Okay, I didn't know if he had seen that or not. All right.
I was like looking for a way down, but then obviously I saw Marleman just.
you forgot the part. You forgot the part where I screamed out in agony.
Oh, goody.
Like, what is this thing?
Yeah, Corin, get any idea?
I can't say that I've ever. Or sorry, that's not her voice. That was we were back to Handybot there. Oops.
There
Can't
is
help
no
these
Corin.
days.
There is no Corin. There is only Handybot. Well, I can't say I've ever seen that process from the outside, and I would like to never see it again. So please don't do that.
Well,
What was that?
That was assimilation. That was being uploaded to Elysium. That was, and with her hammer in her tail, she kind of gestures at the green lights and says, "That was power."
So how do we?
How do so?
Where do these people go? Where
Yeah.
can we?
Are they on like a different plane?
Yeah, because we're not going in there. So where can we go?
Listen, I'm not smart enough to give you any of those answers because I don't know. My brother knew a lot of this, but she kind of gestures at the crystal.
Ah.
He's in there. I don't know if it's a different plane. I don't know what it is. I just know it is Elysium. I know that people are their souls or their minds or something are in there, and then what makes them exist here is in there. And she kind of gestures again at the green lights.
Okay.
Wait, you said you saw this from the other side, though? So you've been in there and you've come out?
I've been in there and I've come out, yes.
Oh.
All right. So it seems. Oh, I was
Okay.
gonna say, so it seems like down is the best idea, but apparently, if going in is an option.
How did you get out, for the record?
I asked.
And they really just...
Let you leave.
I gotta say, the assimilation did not seem optional, so I'm surprised they just let you walk out.
Well, let's put it this way, and she kind of gestures at the slowly even more growing army of robots on the other side.
Okay.
They make sure you go back.
Oh.
Okay.
So what she's kind of insinuating is that the program inside will happily let you leave.
It's the rivets
Because-
outside that are the problem. Okay.
It's more to the people inside. They're going to seem as friendly and helpful as possible. And if you ask to leave, of course they're going to be accommodating to it. It's just the moment you get out, you get tossed back in.
You can check
Okay.
out anytime you like, but you can never.
But you can never leave.
Okay. Cool.
And you
I mean-
said that your brother's in there?
Yes, he is. Fucking dumb shit.
And, all right. Well, given that actually like that opens up the idea of jumping in and letting the heat die down and then coming back out while the heat has redispersed around the city, and then we could start thinking about
You made
things
it
like
all the way
how to
here.
get down there, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
That's not a terrible idea. If we know that we can get out, we just have to deal with the robots. That's better than, oh, well, our souls are gone or whatever.
I
Not for you.
do have to ask because we've kind of experienced this before. Is there a time dilation?
Oh.
Yes,
good
heavily.
point. Oh, dear.
In what direction?
I can't tell. All I know is that to them in there, well, I know here in the city, it's only been about 50 years since Project Elysium kicked off. Outside, it's been thousands and thousands. So I don't know if the time dilation inside the crystal is any different than what it is out here. But
Oh, so we're already in a time dilation.
oh
One
yes,
works to our advantage.
Okay.
Time moves slower out there than it does in here.
Yeah, have you guys all seen Inception? You guys are just one level deeper.
Okay. All right.
Just one. Everyone we know on the
Make sure you're on that last one when you're driving the truck off the bridge.
So, should we make a break for it, try and find Marleman, and then
Yep.
figure out a plan, I guess?
Oh, I think having a plan when we go in might be.
Didn't we
Yeah.
come here for a person as well? Like maybe our person is in there and we can convince them to come with us and
Oh,
go do
yeah.
that, you know?
Or one of the
Cool.
prophecy peeps.
Yes.
Yeah, actually,
Also
let's
reasonable.
review our objective here. What exactly is it we need from this place? We need our person,
Uh-huh.
and
Marleman.
then Corin, you want to shut this thing down.
I would prefer that. Yes,
How do we do that?
if I had that answer, I would have done it.
Okay, you're still useless. Great. It sounds like your brother is the one who knows stuff, and it sounds like he's in there. So
Last I saw,
What's your brother's name?
Leo.
Okay, not the person we're looking for. Cool. Just checking. Seeing if we
Well,
can conglomerate our things.
Get in there.
Mhm.
all right.
Uh,
Seems like there's
Yeah. How are the
Alright.
robots doing? Like, are they
So the robots
getting closer?
are just kind of amassing along the ring. They've actually started to just sort of ring towards the other bridges as well. Those are a
dear.
distance away. It's going to take them a little bit of time, but
There's a cave underneath us, right?
yes, there's some sort of circular cavern that drops into the ground.
How wide is the bridge span?
It's probably the bridges themselves are probably 50 yards long or so. So that on top of the circumference of the platform you're on.
So long enough that if somebody were to, say, transform themselves into an animal large enough to fly down and transport people, we could just shuttle ourselves down.
Totally.
It's either that or the cube.
I mean, I feel like we have to do the.
Yeah, we gotta go in.
We gotta get Marlem
We'll
in.
go get Marlem in. We can't leave him in there.
Well,
2 seconds. I have to go. While you guys discuss a plan, I have to go let my roommate in.
There might be a way to get him without going in there ourselves, but I guess I'll follow you guys. But
Don't let me become 60 years old or something in there alone.
You made your choice.
I think it's the other way around, actually, right?
That is fair. Like we don't know
Which is
if
to
like
say,
in
you
the
guys
5
probably
minutes
are
we're
going to
discussing how
arrive
long he's
just
in
as
there.
I leave my program.
Yeah. Oh no, where is he?
But our guy has got to be in there. Whoever we're here looking for has got to be in there because we haven't seen anyone else.
Right. I'm just saying that there might be more than one way to access this. There might be a back end.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't know if we have the time to really.
Robots,
That's true.
murderous.
Yeah.
You haven't been captured by a robot. The closest that they got was they got their hands on Aramil and attempted to shove them into a car. You're not sure what the plan was from there because it just hadn't happened to you. They were certainly willing to.
The goal is to get us into this crystal.
Yeah, so we're going in pretty much.
Well, but I guess if they're trying to push us in there, what are they trying to keep us away from?
Well, my understanding is that the thing is that I need more information. So my understanding is that the person who designed this, whatever, Brandon, I don't remember what his name was.
Bertrand.
The Dawn Hammer.
Bertrand.
Brandon Dawnhammer.
Brandon Jeremy Dawnhammer.
Yeah.
Biff.
Biff.
I'm not entirely clear on why he created this, but he had the entire town go in there. Like, he created these robots. Like, did he create these robots? Do we know that?
Corin kind of shrugs and says, I mean, they were created at the same time. I can't say if dear old dad did it at the same time. It's just, or did it for this purpose. That part I don't know.
Yeah, so he clearly had some plan. He has information that we don't.
Make
that
a-
makes his plan make more sense.
Nix, make an insight check.
I'm sorry, I've got a dog seatbelt.
Nothing wrong with that.
Bell.
Hurley! Baby.
The arms!
Laid out like a pit bull.
Arms!
Can I get anything good?
Superman, that.
I'm already
Go ahead. Where?
Wow, your dog is really good at planking.
Insight is perception? Insight. Oh, no, there it is. Ooh, my insight is not good. What'd you roll for me?
16.
All right, 15.
Crusty.
Yeah. Seems like she was being honest.
All right. She being honest about what she knows about the robots?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I just feel like we're missing too much information to just keep running, especially with Marleman like missing.
I don't know if I trust that lady too.
Well, that's fair. I'm just
Yeah.
not really about whether or not I trust this cat. It's about not having all the information to be able to like know even like where to go from here. We just don't have the information. If Corin and I can, Nick says this like to Corin, like, listen, like, you want our help, like, you enlisted us for our help. The best way for us to help is for you to be as honest with us as you can. Because right now we just are like running around blind and we don't really know what we're doing. And we've agreed to help. I'd like to help, but it's really hard to help if we do not have all the information.
Listen, I know about as much about this situation at this point as you do. I've given you as much insight as I have on this stupid project. The only thing I can tell you on the other is that on the other side, it's paradise.
So why would your dad want to make a paradise? It's your dad. You're telling me you have no idea why he would have wanted to do this?
He's a strange man.
I've met a lot of strange people, but people still do things for a reason.
She's definitely getting more and more guarded by this line of questioning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which is why I would like to pursue it.
Let's leave it at why he's made this probably doesn't matter as much as the outcomes.
Okay.
It feels like a cop-out, Corin.
No kidding.
You listen. It's happened that people have held things back from us and it's bitten us in the ass. We need to know what to look for. We need to know what to expect.
She kind of grits her teeth and says, I can almost assure you that why this was made is not going to change what's in there. What's in there is paradise. There's no pain. There's no sickness. There's nothing. There's just... Yes, it is a prison of your own mind.
Yeah, I think we need to go in and talk to the guy that made it.
Yeah.
Because why the robots? If you
Never
want,
get
if you want a paradise, what do you need robots to keep them in for?
Yeah.
It's not really paradise.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's go. And she kind of, not haughtily, but definitely with a certain steel to her, turns away from you, kind of takes 3 pretty quick lunges and jumps into the crystal. And again, you see a Cronenberg nightmare. Not going to describe it this time because you know what to expect, but you see what you see.
YOLO. I'm going in.
All right.
Oh boy.
RML the sheepdog follows. What, Trev?
Yeah, I mean, let's just do this, I guess.
All right. Yeah.
I don't like it, but
All right.
I don't like it either.
So you all
Craig, you
dive.
need to share with the class.
I will at some point.
What?
Yeah.
No. Now it's been said. What did you do?
Nope. That's for us and us only.
No, you cannot say you have to share with the class and then immediately say, nope, that's just for us. It's not how it works, and you know it.
Just a little bit of, just some mild image editing. Don't worry about it.
Oh no. Oh no.
I couldn't. I like the
Here,
for the
put that on the
second
screen,
somebody
please.
said
Here, put that on the
Marlon
screen,
is
please.
missing out loud. I was like, oh, my God.
Oh no, Marlon.
This is brought to you by an old Super Nintendo game. If I had more time, I would have tried to put things on Gesundheit.
What a bad joke. Anyway.
That's gonna become a Discord emoji.
So, meanwhile, as you're all going through the assimilation process, Marleman, you've been pleasantly walking down this dirt path for like maybe a minute and a half, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. You could definitely see the forest and the fence behind you getting further away, but the path itself doesn't seem to be leading anywhere until maybe about a minute and a half in, you blink. And suddenly, although the path in front of you is similar, there's a destination. a small log cabin with a slightly open door, a beautiful garden with tomatoes and peppers growing in it. A little bit of smoke coming out of a chimney up top. Looks incredibly quaint.
I go there.
Okay, you walk through.
I'm looking for any like on the log cabin or like I can't imagine that there is a mailbox or anything, but I'm looking for any sort of like identifying features for the building. Like, is there a house number? Is there like, do you know what I mean? Like, or is this just another isolated plane? Is my like, is there any identifying features to this other than the fact that it is X log cabin or whatever?
No identifying features. Nothing like that. Seems very plain. It's nice, but very plain. You step up to the door and it's slightly ajar. What would you like to do?
Knock.
Okay. You're knocking from inside. You hear, hello?
Hello?
Come on in, friend. And you hear like some like shuffling inside of feet, and like a chair kind of scoot across the floor.
Hi. I'm Marleman.
You push open the door,
here.
And inside is a very simple wooden table with 3 chairs around it. You see a very normal kind of bed off in the corner, but the left wall is just covered in books. Just books upon books upon books upon books, to the point that it almost seems like a TARDIS situation. Like there can't be as many books against this wall as there are, but there seems to be
some magical compression happening here.
Yeah. In the back, there's a small fireplace with a low fire in it. And standing next to the table, kind of quickly smoothing out his robes, is this green-scaled dragonborn, no tail, small pair of spectacles on his nose. This kind of looks at you and comes in, looks at you as you come in and says, hello, it's been so long since I've had a visitor. Come, please have a seat. Marleman, you said your name is tea. I'm sure you would like tea, wouldn't you? And kind of turns towards the fire, and where you could have sworn there wasn't before, but there now seems to be a teapot kind of hanging over the fire, slightly boiling, that he kind of takes off with a hand and begins pouring into glasses that also, or cups that also definitely didn't exist until about a second ago. But you don't see that as wrong.
Did this person announce their name? I don't think so, right?
No, they haven't yet. They kind of got so wrapped up in having a guest that they just sort of pressed on.
I'm sorry. And who are you? I asked help to bring me to somebody who had helped create the program.
Oh, wonderful. No, come, please sit. Yes, I would like to say that I am one of the key architects here on the program myself. It makes perfect sense that help came to me first. I actually designed help myself. Please just have it. Oh, right. My apologies. I am a complete moron. I haven't actually introduced myself at all. My name is Darwin. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Ah, that is a name that we have heard outside of this.
Mm-hmm.
Is Darwin who we're looking for? Side note.
Say again?
Is Darwin who we're looking for? Prophecy-wise, wasn't that Darwin?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The voice from nowhere comes down.
Yeah.
Would Marleman know that?
Yes.
Okay. It's been a minute since we've
I know,
spoken
that's
about
why I
this
asked.
particular
I was like,
instance
totally
of who we're actually looking for. Okay. I think Marleman skips a beat and then like kind of lets out like a big grin on his face, like, I made it here before everyone else.
I like how that's his train of thought.
And then I think that's all happening in his head. He's all thinking these things, and,
Right.
then I think he kind of goes, "So how long have you been in here?"
Oh, I've been in here since day one. I was actually one of the first people in myself. Needed to make sure that it all was working correctly before we kind of brought everyone else in.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
I want to see if this guy is maybe coloring the truth unknowingly. That's a 15 plus 8.
Jesus Christ. Braggadocious, but no lie here. He's seems pretty full of himself and his role in all of this, but
Okay.
there's no lie as a part of it.
Okay.
You're muted, Greg.
The computer did say that like 5,000 people were integrated simultaneously. So
Yeah,
odds aren't
simultaneously,
bad
right? Yeah.
that he was among the first.
Among the first 5,000 some odd people.
Yeah, if you're a
Or wait, no,
dingus,
you said it was
that'd be how you would say
8,000.
that.
It was all 8,000, so right?
So of the 8,733 organics that were assimilated at the same time, or of that total number of
Yes.
organics, 8,730 were integrated all at once.
So
So he could have. Odds were good.
yeah, okay. Why did you create this?
Well, haven't you looked around, friend? It's paradise in here.
But it's not real.
Well, he kind of walks up to you and sets a hand on your shoulder, and you can feel the pressure. You can feel kind of the kind of scaliness of his hand and the tiny bit of claws there as he kind of grips your shoulder and says, "Can't you feel that? Can't you feel this?" And he kind of waves another hand in front of you to like give you that small blast of wind.
I ask again, how long have you been in here?
Oh, time is, well, there's no day-night cycle, so to speak. So days and time doesn't really matter here. But according to the computer,
You mean one of the most real things about life in the world is day and night cycle?
Well,
And
at this point, you actually notice a dimming in the cabin. And you kind of glance out the windows, and suddenly outside, it's the oranges of sunset. When he says, "When I get tired, I sleep. When I want to wake up, I wake up, and it's morning."
do you feel hunger?
Oh, certainly. But when I'm hungry, I eat.
Kids and their technology these days.
Marleman with the
No,
lazy devs SMH.
What was the reason for doing this, though? Like, you've explained the benefits of this and why you enjoy this place, but what was the ultimate reason for doing this?
Well, and he kind of hands you the warm.
Certainly,
cup of tea.
life, and I interrupt him as he's grabbing things or whatever he's doing to instantly just be like, you clearly things must have been bad on the outside for you to need to do this or want to do this.
I mean, they weren't bad per se, friend. It's more, they're better here. I will exist forever. We all will exist forever.
Assuming
have to-
that
it
the
doesn't have
things
to be
outside don't destroy whatever this technology is.
Well, there's certainly, but why would anyone want to? Actually, that does lead to a good question. You kind of finally his brain kind of like kicks in past having a conversation, which is apparently something he hasn't done in a while.
Clearly,
And says, "How did you get here, friend? There,
Woof,
Arundel
let me
is-
tell you.
Arundel was cut off completely. How did you get here?"
I don't remember.
The wolf was a really good choice of words.
That's exactly why I did it. I explained to him briefly the conquest of venturing through the bubble.
Okay.
And making it through to the computer and getting in. And
as you do so, you can see him getting more and more enraptured by this.
yeah, he hasn't heard a new story in 5,000 fucking years, right? Like,
well, it's
like,
there's
has
that
this guy
part.
heard of Shakespeare? Am I going to blow his mind in 5 minutes? Like,
well, there's that part, but there's also he like kind of it's not quite slack-jawed, but it is like fascinated, like fully fascinated.
in rapture, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As he says, "A pearl.
Pearl in the desert. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Oh, that's somehow so simple and so stupid. Oh.
Same.
Well, I suppose that solves one mystery.
Oh,
Oh, you know nothing. I understand. Totally okay. Here. And he kind of makes
I
a
like
move
the, oh,
towards
you're
you.
an idiot.
Yeah,
Is this going to like cut to the scene where Morpheus introduces Neo to the Matrix and he sits him down in the white room with the 2 leather couches?
not exactly,
Like,
because
this
he makes
Is the
such
real
a sharp
world.
and kind of jumpy move towards you that for about a second you think he's going to attack you.
Yeah.
But he's also kind of a spindly nerd, so you're like, I could probably take him if I need to.
So am I.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I'm aware.
Spindly nerd fly.
That'd be the worst
You're
noodle
about to
fight.
witness the world's biggest slap fight.
But
Yeah.
actually, he lays 2 hands on the side of your head and digs in just a little bit with his claws. And as you like pull back in fright and shock and surprise, you feel so much more information in your brain than you had before. As your brain literally downloads what he is trying to show you.
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah, not exactly, because what you learn is what he saw beforehand. You suddenly have almost his entire history in your
Oh, it's a
head.
brain dance of his entire history.
Basically.
My favorite.
It's a mind meld. But what you learn in that nanosecond of time is that the Lost City of Glass, formerly known as Arendelle, has been completely cut off due to something that has happened generations before him. He has genuinely no idea how that happened. History on that one has been completely destroyed. But in being cut off from the outside world, there was a fear that started to overtake society that it was going to burn out. That, you know, the dragonborn race, so to speak, was just going to vanish in this tiny bubble that no one could sustain. So the idea for Elysium was born, a place where everyone would be happy, there would be no illness, no pain, no sickness, and the species would survive. The idea was brought forward by Bertrand Dawnhammer, but according to Darwin's memories, it was his coding and his planning and all of these sorts of things that got them to where they are now. You know, he's not an ideas man, but he is a doer.
Okay. Is there any sort of like residual effect from this? Like, does my head hurt?
I mean, it's confusing since it's never happened to you before.
Am I gonna start
and
crying like Sarek?
Not quite.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay. Gee. Okay. So this is okay. All right. So this was an idea that you would potentially use to just make the race live on. Is the idea?
Certainly. Forever,
Okay.
in perpetuity.
Will we
When's
get
the last time? What's that?
So we'll get to what you guys are doing
Yeah.
next time.
Okay.
Yeah. Gee, I'm trying to think of what I want to ask next.
You get
What
one
do you
more
know
question
about-
before we flip over to the other side.
Okay. What kind of interactions did you have with, like, who's? I know you are fond of the idea that you did a lot of the work.
Certainly. Everything you
who's-
see around you was my
But
implementation.
Don't take this as an insult, but whose idea was this?
Oh, it was Bertrand's. It was Bertrand Dawnhammer. Our general, our glorious leader.
I asked help to bring me to Bertrand.
He's-
Excuse me. I keep wanting to call him Bertram.
He's a busy man. That makes sense as to why help would default you to me.
Do you think you could get me a meeting with him sooner?
And you can see kind of a look across his face that is a mixture of
Unless you're uncomfortable.
doubt and frustration.
as he says, I could put in a good word for you and see if he has time, but he has a lot to run here.
Can I do another insight check now to see
Absolutely.
kind of if I think I think I get where he's coming with this, but the voice that he made me concerned. That's a 17 plus 8.
It's very clear the answer is no. He does not have the pull to get you into seeing Bertrand.
Okay.
But B, it's also heavily layered with a, am I not good enough for you? Like, why
No,
the fuck
and I understand
ideas
that.
guy? I'm the one who did all this. Like, I can tell you whatever you need. Like, that sort of frustration of like, why the fuck do you need to go talk to my boss? I'm doing everything.
You got the real deal right here, brother. What are you talking about? Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay. What? I think that was my question. I think you should potentially move on because I could ask more questions about Bertrand, but I feel like that's something is going to happen with other people.
Yes, we flip over to the other side as all of you emerge in this white light to this verdant green background, standing at a green field with a dirt path. You have your hands, your feet, your thumbs again. You feel good. Like it's warm, it's sunny, it's nice. You've been in like cold winter for a while as well in the outside world, so this is like a nice, pleasant change of seasons. And really, before you can like get your bearings, and as you hear the various messages of organic number, etc., get announced out, you can hear Corin, who got in just a little bit before you guys, already shouting at the sky. Help! We need a path to Leo immediately.
Wait.
I don't care. Immediately.
We wanted to make sure Marleman was good. No.
Fine. You go and deal with the idiot. I'm gonna go and get this train moving because it's gonna take us a while.
Yeah, I think we should find Marleman and then catch up.
Okay.
Well, why don't okay.
I think so.
So all of your individual helps float down, and it's at this moment, because there was only one previously, was hard to know. You realize that all of you can only hear your own individual helps. Like you can see other people's helps kind of floating near them, but you can't hear it.
Do they all look the same?
They all look the same.
Okay.
I'm really glad that you can only hear your own, because I think hearing "Hey, listen" 9 times would be really brutal.
So yours, Nyx, kind of speaks into your brain, or however it communicates with you. We can certainly bring you to your friend Marleman. He only arrived shortly before you, so we know exactly where he is.
Where is he?
Follow the path, and it kind of gestures towards the path.
All right, that's not really an answer, but fine.
I will say this.
Yeah. I got the same result.
Those sorts of questions of where are they and things like that have no answer here. Because here is everywhere.
Yes. I meant it more as who is he with, but I understand the syntactical miscommunication.
It's very literal.
Yes.
As it is a computer.
And Nyx would not have understand why the robot did not understand and would just follow.
What was the name of the AI thing that we were butting heads with? Caretaker. I'll ask mine is if the caretaker is present in this place.
The caretaker handles all systems outside of Elysium.
Ah.
Okay.
I guess we should go get Marleman.
Yep.
Yeah, I would just start following Nyx. If she started walking, I would just start following her.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys are walking down the same dirt path as Corin, at least to start, after maybe a minute or so, suddenly she is gone. You don't see her turn away. You don't see her go anywhere else. She's just sort of vanished from next to you as she loads into a different instance.
I don't like that.
Awesome.
But after about a minute and a half of walking,
you see a small cabin, very kind of quaint and normal ahead of you, a beautiful garden out front, and the door opens slightly, and you can see Marleman standing at the side of a table. You can't see the other figure; they're kind of obscured by the door. A little bit slack-jawed and looking a little, a little perplexed by the things that are happening.
Hey, there he is.
Marleman.
That's the appropriate look.
You're muted. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Marleman has been silenced.
We're doing
What have you done to our friend?
I didn't do it.
It's definitely some wild magic surge that.
Yeah.
Good as your phone call if you cannot speak, Mr.
There we go.
Oceanwrath.
Hey.
I don't know what
What'd you
happened.
do? Okay.
I don't know what happened. What was happening? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, you guys just showed up.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's always a
Alright.
nice way to be greeted. Thanks.
Darwin kind of leans around the door to see and goes, "More guests! I haven't had this in so long. Welcome. Tea. You all need tea immediately. Or whiskey?" He kind of looks at you, Sai, and says, "You seem like a whiskey man more than a tea man. Let me go and take care of that." He kind of turns away and heads to, again, Marleman, as someone who's been standing in the cabin for a while. A cabinet that was definitely not there before, but is totally there now.
How
But
did
it
you do
does-
that? How did you do
doesn't-
that?
It doesn't register as weird. It's just like it's almost like deja vu of just
I
I
was
must
waiting
not
for
have-
you to say the
I
black
must not
cat
have
deja
just
vu.
I must just not have seen it before is what your brain tells you. Like it was always there. I just must not have been able to see it, or I just didn't see it.
I want to cement the knowledge in my head that is unnatural. So
Okay.
I would like to do a perception check to get what the current surroundings are. I want to
Okay.
confirm this in my brain. Does that make sense?
Make a perception or would it be perception?
Or is that an investigation? Maybe.
Yeah, I go with more investigation.
Okay. Damn. That's a 13 plus 2. That's a 15 investigation.
Okay. You do the best job you think possible of taking in your surroundings and locking it to memory. Phaedra, I will say, as you enter this cabin, there is a wall of books, and immediately your brain is like, "Ooh, books."
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just gonna go straight to the books.
Okay.
I see it. Marleman's fine. We're good. Okay, books.
Okay.
Marleman, who is this person over
Oh,
there?
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
Is he
Oh,
back
no, go
over
right ahead
here?
if you want
I
to.
would ask him if he was back over
Oh,
here.
wait a minute. No, I would know who this person is because I've seen this guy, right?
I don't know.
Didn't I?
Visions.
When
When I had
from
when
God?
I didn't I did I what? No, wait, no. I saw the guy who was jumping through the plains,
yes,
Not
you've seen
this-
him,
but not this guy.
not this guy.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was getting all our prophecy people mixed up. My bad.
Fair enough.
No,
This is Darwin.
This is just a.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I said it to Marleman because I thought that he was in his kitchen.
Yeah, he was
I mean,
getting
it's
drinks
one
for
room.
everyone.
Huh?
It's one
It's
room.
the same room.
It's a
Yeah, but,
studio
like-
apartment.
How big? I don't know. Like I'm not. I guess I don't understand.
How big is it?
Yes.
Complicated question because
Yeah.
the only
The
person
answer
who
is-
saw it at a previous size was Marleman, and without him noticing, the room got bigger.
The answer is yes. It is as big or as small as you think it could be.
If he's within like normal conversation range, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like Nyx would just ask, like, so, like, who are you?
Sure. Yeah. This is Darwin, guy. Everyone. This is
You got it.
Darwin.
He kind of
okay.
waves behind him as he fixes drinks at the cabinet.
And then I think Marleman definitely does like a little bit of like a.
I know, like Nyx is like,
Hey guys.
you hear that name?
You know who that is, right? You know that guy. You know who that dude? Mm.
I don't know. He seems like a nice fella.
Yeah.
Thank you. You seem like a nice fellow yourself.
He
what your-
is one of the.
At this point, he has turned around with a tray of tea and like 2 small tumblers of whiskey. It just kind of
Marleman
sets
takes
it
an
on the
opportunity
table.
here
Any-
to realize that he didn't just conjure those. They clearly were not available. And I think Marleman says, I think I want a whiskey too. And I hold out my hand.
And in your hand, you have a whiskey, which must have been there before because you didn't grab it from anywhere. But it's there.
And I go, I understand. And I start drinking my whiskey.
It is delicious.
I'm
think
curious.
I want
You think that's air you're breathing?
So
Are any of the books on the bookshelf like? If I don't know what's on them, like, are they like non-existent essentially?
They're all books you have seen before.
Okay.
At least to start. The rest of the bookcase, it's hard to tell because there's just so many of them packed into one small area. But at least to start, they're books that you know.
Okay.
So, Marleman, how did you come to Darwin's house?
I asked H to bring me here. Isn't that right, H?
Yes, you did.
They didn't hear that.
Good.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. I have been calling my helper bot thing H.
Okay.
All right.
I assumed that you all would know who it was or see him, but
I mean, you see that they all have their own help floating next to
We
them.
only see whichever one.
H, are
is
those
ours.
like your cousins or something?
What?
Never mind.
Darwin kind of pipes in and goes, helps are individualized. We can all see that we all have help, of course, because we're all here. But
In low
what your help
tones,
needs from you, it's just
I mutter the
up to you.
phrases. He wrote help.
So you helped design this place.
Yes, I did. I did a lot of the grunt work on this place for sure.
So
And I
Nick's
lean in
gonna
and I
ask
say,
this
he
one
claims to
question.
be a high level architect.
Yeah, Nix is probably going to ask the same kinds of questions now that Marleman asked of,
Yeah.
like, why then did you build this?
He gives you, I'm not just for the joys of not repeating myself, he gives you basically the stock same answers.
Okay. So what you're saying is something happened to Arundel. You don't know what happened to Arundel, and that cut it off from the world?
Yeah, that was a weird magic thing that happened before my time, at least. I think Bertram might have an idea, but he's never really shared with us. All we know is the dome and life inside the dome.
Okay.
Is Bertram in here?
Oh, certainly. He got assimilated just like the rest of us. Hell, he was the first, second person in.
What was the first view?
That'd be me.
Are there
okay.
any? Yeah.
Some magic thing happened. Maybe Bertram knows what it was. But Arundel ended up cut off from everything, and you couldn't get... I don't remember how we got through the bubble, I'm not going to lie.
You
We
channeled
had help from
through
a
it.
friend.
Yeah, you had help. You had help.
We had help from our dragon friend.
Oh, okay. So our dragon friend, like, opened it for us?
Sort of. The long and short of it is that you guys were led to the bead by Corin's psychic GPS that she dropped in Trev's head. Once you were there, you all just sort of ritualed it for a bit, and you're not entirely sure what happened, but you're here now.
Okay.
You kind of set it in the middle of you guys, all sat around it, and then we're here. Trev was guiding you, but even then, there was no real good answer for what happened.
So Corin let us in? Okay. Interesting. So, okay. And you guys were scared that you would all die in the bubble and the race would die out and whatever, like life couldn't sustain in the bubble.
Right.
So you made this.
Yeah.
Why didn't you make it to just look like society then?
Well, it can if you wanted to.
Okay.
Are there any people doing that?
Oh, I'm certain. I I haven't seen any of them, doing that, but I'm sure there's conclaves and groups of people who are living together like it's a regular old society.
Was it a
H, is that true?
choice?
The help just kind of says yes, as yeah.
Sorry. Was it a choice where people, if they wanted to just live out their lives outside in the bubble and it ended to how it ends, like, were they allowed to do that?
Oh, certainly.
Do you know
What
about
if they
the
want
robot?
to leave?
Robots? What robots?
There's
Okay.
a bunch of automatons that were chasing us into the area that led us over into here. Okay, so you probably don't know about the being turned into dogs thing, then.
Are you
Well-
familiar with the caretaker?
Caretaker, yeah, that's the spirit we embedded to kind of run the whole thing. We can't run it from in here, so to speak. The kind of channeling that has to be done to build up Elysium can't be done from in here. So we created Caretaker to kind of run everything. We didn't want it to be, another person, because we didn't want to doom someone to having to die and be alone for that long. So we built something to take care of it.
Okay, well, it's kind of gone. Like it's taken
Fascist.
over and
It's
like is
sentient.
sort of
It's
evil.
howled.
Yeah,
Not surprised.
Why aren't you surprised?
Well, I didn't
it's a
make it.
ribbit.
No, I didn't
Oh,
make it.
did
It's-
Bertrand make it?
No. I mean,
Don't make
he
it.
genuinely starts laughing at the idea that Bertrand Donhammer had the ability to do much of anything.
Oh.
Did Leo
He
make
kind of laughs and says, "No, it was his fucking idiot of a son. It was his idea to create Caretaker in the first place.
Wait, whose son? Sorry.
Bertrand's.
Oh, Bertrand's son.
Do
Wait a
you-
minute.
Do you talk with Leo a lot?
Oh, I haven't spoken to Leo in years. Haven't really spoken to anybody in years, to be honest with you. But
In a dog's age?
Hmm.
Do you know Corin?
Corey,
That's that.
he kind of gets a little shy and quiet and says,
All right.
"Certainly, yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah."
Oh.
Okay. So you don't really know. Well, you know about the Caretaker, and you're
Yeah.
not surprised that he's gone a little bit AWOL.
I mean, at this point, the braggadociousness kind of sets back in as he says, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. Leo's work was always a little topsy-turvy, so to speak, so you can't be shocked, really.
Where is the
think he might
core
have-
of? Sorry, go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, do you think he might have been the one who created the automatons, the robots?
Or
I mean,
was
it doesn't-
that Caretaker itself that made the robots.
It doesn't sound like him, but
Can the Caretaker do that? Is the Caretaker a thing?
Caretaker is
create.
Caretaker
life?
has full control of outside of here. To be honest
If there's
with
any
you,
sort of production facility.
I put
to
my-
be honest with you, the concept of the Caretaker making a bunch of automatons seems a little wild, if I'm being honest. There's no...
I absolutely grab this man
There's no
by his
reason.
shoulders and say, "This is exactly the kind of concern I had when you said this would live forever."
I mean, yeah, like it's... Listen, it's Caretaker's job to make this go, and whatever way the Caretaker is seen to make this go has worked. So I really don't
Perhaps
understand an
at-
issue here.
Perhaps at the expense of others?
I mean, I've never heard, besides you guys coming in here, I can't say I've ever heard of the Caretaker doing anything that's directly negative.
Guys, I think
Malicious
we need to go
of sorts.
see Leo, and we should bring our friend with us so he can help us.
I agree.
I would prefer not.
Well,
They're
we
coming.
really could use your assistance on this
Yeah, we
one.
need you, dog.
Yeah.
They also have a.
I lean. Here we go. I got this, guys. I lean in, and with the biggest charismatic smile I could come up with, I say, "You don't. I don't think you really know how important you are to this investigation of ours. You're one of the top architects of this entire thing. How could we do this without you?"
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Well,
Can I
then-
also- Oh man, I was gonna. You already did well enough. I was gonna add something else to this.
That's first off, that's an 11 plus 15,
I mean,
Second off, that's an 18 plus 15. So you can pick which one.
I mean, advantage works only one direction. It's less of an I choose. He gets his concern seems to kind of change to a. Okay, yeah, okay, sure, yes, let's. Okay, yes,
Same.
Okay, let's.
Marleman
sure,
lifts his
yes.
head up from looking down at his glass of whiskey and gives the gang, all of them, the Star Trek.
I got a quick question for you. So this is like a paradise and whatever, but what happens if someone is like breaking the rules or is troublesome? Do they get kicked out of here?
Oh, I mean, there's no rules. There's no anything like that. If someone wants to be troublesome, they're allowed to be troublesome if they want to be.
What if hypothetically speaking, what if someone wanted to murder someone?
I mean, you can't.
What if they
Why?
wanted to?
I mean, we all have our wants and needs, but the ability to act upon it is limited. You know, I can choose, and again, he kind of lays a hand on your shoulder, Marleman. I can choose to lay a hand on your shoulder, but only because you choose to see me as physical. If you decided that I am not physical or that I can't touch you, and just by implanting that idea in your head, your mind kind of goes, wait, what? At which point his hand sort of falls through you. It says, what you choose to interact with is what you choose to interact with. I can't make that choice for you, so my will only goes so far.
Here's a quick experiment. Marleman takes a really deep breath and shuts his eyes and tries to clear his mind.
Okay.
That takes a form of drowning.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
It's the closest I can come up with for trying to empty out. And
That's a dirty 20.
sure, you succeed in calming your mind completely to empty.
Am I like? Sorry, my understanding of this sounded very
Tumbleweed
strange. Like
passes by.
I'm trying to pull myself away from the situation.
Oh, you certainly do so. Suddenly you are just outside. You haven't gone far, but you are standing outside the cabin, and all of you around the cabin, you don't process that Marleman has vanished from that spot. It's more of a, right, Marleman was standing outside. It's almost as if
all of this.
it's almost as if being Elysium causes your mental faculties to just process everything as, of course. It's
Okay.
something here allows your brain to see things that should be completely insane and impossible as totally normal.
It allows us to see in
Your brain
non-Euclidean
fills-
spaces.
I
Your
am
brain
hon-
fills in the gaps.
I'm
Okay.
honestly tempted to use True Sight, but I won't do that to you, Carrie.
I mean, I can tell you what you'd see.
I know.
It's-
I'm very curious, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Okay. I go back in
I
the
will say
cabinet.
this: none of you tried to cast magic yet.
Yeah.
No,
Ew.
I haven't.
Alright,
I'm
Wait, I've been trying to ask a side question for a
Oh,
minute.
sorry.
go, please.
No,
I wasn't
okay.
gonna do anything.
No, it's fine. Ryan just tried to leave, so I had to stop. So Nyx has that map, right? Where we drew. I don't remember what the shape was, like the circle or the star.
Yeah, the city is in like a circular shape, so to speak.
No, the murder.
The ritual one.
Yeah.
She's got the map that she can draw on, and
Full Metal Alchemist summoning.
Oh, yes. Yep, yes.
I have that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanna. It's like it's a map, right? Like it's all labeled.
I mean, it's not exactly a map, but yes, it's more of a.
Or like I'm trying to remember.
It's basically grid points of wild shit that the bad guys have been doing spots at. The problem is that there are a couple of lines as part of that that do not exist on a flat space, let's say.
Yeah. Do we know all the points on that? That's what I'm trying
Yes.
to remember. We do.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And the City of Glass was not one of them.
It is.
Okay.
This is one of the non-linear places, so to speak. So there are 3 non-linear lines. One led to here. I know that's
That was
terminology is
sorry.
impossible right now.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's extraplanetary lines, whichever way you want to phrase it. You know, there are a couple of points on the prime material plane, and then there were 3 that were not. One in the Feywild, one here, and one in one of the elemental planes.
Okay. So.
Oh, and one in hell. But
Oh, word.
we've established that one.
Yeah.
I need to ask this friend a theoretical question. So, Darwin, if people wanted to leave, right, or we turned this thing off, like if we theoretically turned it off, would all the people just go back into the city?
Well, it is designed to pull from the stored organic banks anytime someone wants to leave. So, provided there's enough organic material there, certainly, everyone would just sort of walk out and be back to how they looked and at the age they went in.
You're storing us in the transporter buffer.
Yeah.
You're making a lot of Star Trek references that I don't understand.
But you knew it was a Star Trek.
Yeah, because you said the word transporter.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, where are we going?
Let's go see Leo with Corin.
Corin is here.
Yes.
Corin is here.
She
And
kind of looks
it would-
around.
I'm sure it would really go over very well if you were to help us out.
That's
Corin needs
not.
help, too.
That's not exactly what. No. Sure, let's go. And he kind of turns around and begins to walk towards the door. And again, he definitely wasn't wearing as fine and nice of robes as he's definitely wearing right now. But he was definitely wearing them before too. It's very strange.
I hate
Can
it.
I like?
I want
as
him. I want to see him as like he's wearing a trash bag. See whose will is stronger.
I believe it's his, but
Boo.
As we're walking, could I like have a side conversation with Trev for a minute?
Sure.
How much do you think we can trust Corin's intentions?
I mean, here's my probably. I believe that she wants to stop this. I don't believe anything beyond that.
My concern is, I'm not sure. Listen, I wouldn't want to be in this place, but if the people and the robots are a separate thing, but if Corin is working with previously saying now she's not working with the people who are making this murder map work, us turning this off and bringing all the people back would further that.
You're
it would
not
give
wrong.
them that opportunity to finish this murder point. Do
You're
you
not
trust
wrong.
that that's not her intention?
I can't necessarily say for sure that it isn't. What the way I'm looking at it, we're not gonna, with everything as it is right now, we're not gonna be able to convince this guy to get out of here.
Yeah.
So we need to do something about this no matter what, or else he's never gonna leave. He's never gonna come with us, and we have things that we need to do. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I know it's not a satisfying answer, but my answer is kind of always the same, which is, if they turn on me, I kill them.
Yes.
That's kind of all I've ever known.
Is, I'm sure you were already.
I think your concern is absolutely valid.
But I'm a little concerned about her motives more than I was at the beginning of us agreeing to help her.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're one of the smartest people I know. You're probably right. I just don't know what I can do about it.
I'd like to hope that I'm wrong, and I'd like to hope that she really wants to change. But I can't deny that we need to make sure that we don't act too hastily on this.
Yeah, for my part, I think that I can envision a world where she doesn't want to be better, but still wants to do this, which makes me feel like, if that makes sense, like it feels okay. Like I do think there's a way that she could want to do this while still being not having a completely unbelievable change of heart.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully everything's good. I'm not sure. But we'll have to keep this in mind. Like we got to keep an eye on her. Absolutely. I
Okay.
don't trust her farther than I can throw her.
She is a cat.
You're a strong man.
Cats are all right.
Just saying, you could probably throw a cat pretty far.
True. She's not a cat right now.
Oh, that's right. They're not cats. Okay.
But yes, I can also throw people pretty far, I guess. But still, I like the expression anyway.
All right.
But yeah, you're probably right. We'll be careful. At least we'll try not to do anything too. I almost just said something impossible. We'll try not to do anything too rash or stupid, but that's not true.
We're already
We'll
here.
We'll do our
As
best.
you all are walking along this dirt path, Darwin is progressively slowing in front of you. He was leading the way at first with a certain level of drive, and then as it continues more and more, he's definitely losing some speed. But eventually, you all blink, and what is quickly becoming both normal and still very weird, there is a destination at the end of the path. It looks like a rich city block with beautiful buildings of marble. There's a number of different kind of gems embedded in the ground that seem to operate as sidewalks. Whereas for all of his level of braggadociousness and confidence, Darwin's cabin was relatively humble. This is ostentatious. The only place more ostentatious you've ever been in was an entire building made out of emerald, which was in Jerselheim, which should give you a pretty good idea of the level of ridiculous you're standing outside of now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the mere sight of this building has caused Darwin to stop and look at you and goes, I mean, you could certainly bring them out here, and then I'll be more than happy to talk to them. But I think I can wait here for you guys. Like, feel free to go and do whatever meetings you need to do. But I'll just hang out here.
We're gonna try this again. We're gonna try this again.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean in, put my arm around her shoulder, if he allows it, and I say, "It's okay, buddy. Look, there's a lot of us here. I know it's overwhelming, but this is going to be easy and calm. And, if you don't want to say anything when we're there, you don't have to. But you should come with us."
Make a regular persuasion check, no advantage.
That's a... crap, hold on. You say charisma?
Persuasion.
Or persuasion, okay. That's an 8 plus 15.
How do you have a plus 15?
Charisma?
Because he's a
Because I
sorcerer.
have both proficiency and what do you call it?
Expertise.
Expertise.
Being
Yeah.
expertise, that's why.
Yeah. He kind of nods and says, "Okay, okay. I'm just gonna hang out towards the back.
Can I
I'll be there."
use the same role to ask, like, what are you nervous about?
Oh, it's just it's been a while, and and reintroductions when you're also doing introductions, it gets complicated. It just gets complicated really quickly, and I don't know you guys, and they don't know you guys, and I can't help with the introductions. I'm there from so it's just it's just to try and make it a less.
The programmers aren't people. They don't. I'm the man that sits in between the programmers and talks to the customers.
Well, if it helps any, we're only being introduced to Leo because we already know Corin.
somehow that doesn't help, but thank you for that one.
I
It
tried.
shouldn't.
All right, let's.
I can promise, and he kind of like slaps your arm, Marleman. I can promise I'll be there. I'll be right behind you.
Can
So I walk behind
can,
him.
can I make an insight
I imagine myself standing behind him, and poof, there I am.
I feel like I have an idea of what this is, but can I make an insight check to determine if I can figure out specifically why he's...
Sure, go right ahead.
Alright. I have a feeling. That is a natural 20.
Goddamn. All right.
So a total is 29.
Goddamn. All right. Hang on. Give me a second. You see this man's whole history in front of you.
Because I have a feeling it's either A or B, and I'm pretty sure I know which one it is.
Peered into
I
his
have a
soul.
guess. Can I give my theory and see if my guess is correct?
I'd rather it not be, because if you just spent a 20 on something that we all just figured out from talking to him, I would be bummed out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah. I just wanted to be like, plot twist to something completely different. They were in a caper together.
My cat is being the fucking cutest little... I don't know if you can see her, but she's just like, oh, hi.
Oh, the beat in the back.
Maybe.
She's so cute. I love her. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are.
Clack, 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 clack.
She is wrapped in the blanket from my brother's wedding.
Oh my god. I was cleaning my car the other day, and I found one of them in my car. Like still wrapped up and rolled. I don't know where it came
Nice.
from.
Is it a good?
I have a guess.
Yeah, well, I know where it came from.
I remember like someone bringing it to your car at some point.
Yeah, it was him.
It was definitely me.
It was him, and that was what we realized while that was happening. We were like, wait, we aren't supposed to take these?
Yeah.
So Morgan's actually stealing
Okay.
right now. Word.
All right.
Good
Did I
job,
say I
guys.
cleaned my car and found those? I mean, I just cleaned my car and found nothing.
Whatever.
Okay, so it was both things that I was expecting. Interesting. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. I'll just be like, hey man, we got this. Just be cool, be chill, and you don't have to worry about anything. Okay?
The panic in his eyes is palpable, but he does continue walking forward with you all.
Okay. Just like, you got this. You're good.
You are led by the various help around you to a building in the center of this district. Again, still marble with huge columns, a large door. Darwin kind of gestures and goes, that's where the big guy hangs out and works. But we're gonna go a little further down to Leo's office.
Okay.
Let's go.
Big guy Bertrand?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Big Bertrand.
Big Birdie, we called him. We didn't.
Leo
actually call
Dabby.
that.
Big
Oh,
bird.
We didn't. We didn't do that. Okay, let's go. And he's just like,
I'm going
"Yeah."
there now.
He's just sort of fucking eyes to the ground, just like walking. Before he stops outside of honestly what looks like an almost identical building, just like a hair smaller. Like, just like in the corner is maybe a quarter of an inch smaller. As he gestures and goes, and that's where Leo's office is. If you want to go talk to Leo, that'd be where Leo is. Let's go. That's. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Darwin. Let's go,
You all begin to walk up these marble steps. There's no guards. You also have not seen any people or anything like that. And much like the cabin door at Darwin's, the door is slightly ajar. There's a less welcoming feel to the building, but it is certainly open and available.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We go in?
Yeah.
We're in?
Yeah. You step inside, and the first thing that greets you when you step inside is the fact that, unlike Darwin's place, which was although significantly size changey and bigger on the inside, was representative of its outside shape. You know, the inside still felt very wooden and simple and things like that. Here, you may as well have entered somewhere just an entirely different building, where you would expect to see marble walls and marble flooring. Instead, you're greeted with brick. The insides are this cavernous brick-walled structure with large mahogany beams that seems to run along the ceiling. The floor is this beautifully polished red wood that seems to echo with each footstep. The room itself has a number of different seating couches, places for people to kind of lay out and sit. And at the center of the room, you can see two black-scaled dragon boards having what looks like a hushed and angry argument. One is quite familiar to you, judging by the shiny black armor and large hammer. The other looks almost exactly the same. There is no real definitive difference in their appearance. Corin is maybe an inch or two taller, but besides that, they are almost completely identical.
Thank you.
Minus a handful of facial scars that Corin has picked up that Leo just does not have. As you enter, Leo kind of turns and looks at you and goes, "Oh, so these are the friends you were talking about?"
Oh,
Corin
we're
kind
friends. Do you hear that?
Boy, you use that word strongly.
Corin kind of turns and looks at all of you and says, "Thank you for joining. What is he doing here?" He kind of points immediately at Darwin, who has, at this point, faded all the way behind you guys as possible. Still there, not running, but just like Trev, you realize he's been like half trying to hide behind you, which doesn't work since he's about a head and a half taller than you. Dragonborn are tall, by the way, in case
They're
you
not
know.
skinny beings.
No, well, Darwin is, but
No.
but he
I'll
is
put my
tall.
hand on his shoulder so that he doesn't make it all the way to the back.
Oh.
He's just sort of trying to fade. At which point he kind of raises a hand, in like a hey kind of way.
He helped us. He helped us get here.
At which point,
We're gonna need his help with whatever
At
the
which
heck it is
point,
we're trying to do.
before you're even able to say that, Leo kind of locks eyes with him, and the expression that runs across his face is hard to describe, because it is the perfect mask of anger. It is the briefest break of rage and anger and hatred before that's then immediately starved out by the giant smile that breaks across his face as he says, "Darwin, it's a pleasure. How long has it been, my friend? Please come, have a seat. It's truly a joy to see you." Which
He's
point
lying.
Darwin,
He's lying, everyone. He's lying.
Yeah, no, we gathered.
which point Darwin says, "You know, I think I'm gonna."
No. You stay.
Okay.
You stay.
He kind of
Again.
shifts.
No.
He kind of shifts without taking his eyes off Leo to like the closest cushion and just sort of sits.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Left
like
next
get
one.
in the eye line of the two of them and get in the way of that.
Yeah. I'll sit next to him. I'll.
Yeah. He is shaking like a leaf.
Oh.
I just kind of pat him on the shoulder, like, you got this. You're good.
He does not have this.
I know.
He is inches away from full blown
Sometimes you need
panic
somebody
attack.
to lie to you.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna make you roll an insight check. He is inches away from full blown panic attack.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Can
Just
I
need
cast
to-
calm emotions on him?
You could
I
try.
was just about to ask his permission, but yeah.
Do I?
Do you have
It
it?
would be.
No, I don't have it prepared. Or wait,
So I guess the
I
answer
do
is
have
no,
it
you can't.
prepared. Hooray! Indeed, do have it prepared.
Okay. Are you just gonna try and cast it on him, or are you gonna ask for permission?
Hello.
I I'm not going to ask for permission because
No. I think you should. I think you super
I
should.
feel like we're about to learn a really important lesson, kids.
let me see. Hang on.
I have a feeling that consent on his part is
I feel
necessary for it
I-
to take effect.
No, because they make a save. I'm just reading. I'm double
No,
checking the rules
I mean,
of it.
in this world that we're in right now,
Oh,
it certainly
okay.
seems
Yeah.
like it's based on their own perceptions.
Okay.
If you tell him with a nice voice that you probably are going to make him feel better, it might work in my brain.
Okay. All
Has
right.
a better than 0 chance.
Sure. All right. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna help you calm down a bit. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Please, thank
You
you.
gotta believe.
You got. Yeah.
Okay, and you cast Calm Emotions. He doesn't make the save just because he has accepted what you're trying to do.
Okay.
You do burn the spell like normal, and the effects seem to take hold.
Okay. That's also a good thing. 'Cause I was like, I'm kind of curious to know how magic works in here, so it's a good test. Also.
As Marleman said, it is a belief on the other person's side. They have to believe
Okay.
that you are casting magic on them.
All right. I'm not making him go crazy with confidence, but just calm.
Just trying to
like,
quell the panic.
Yeah,
Would-
like I'm not
would
going for
argue
anything.
that I could. Okay.
I'm
go
not
ahead.
going for anything unrealistic.
Okay.
Like I don't want to
I
make
would-
him
I would
suddenly
argue that
super
means-
confident.
I would argue that means you could probably cast Prestidigitation and say, "This is going to calm you," and if he buys it, he would be calmed.
True.
That means that you have calm emotions also, probably.
That means I have every
Right,
spell
so-
known to man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so like it's a good test, so we know magic does work to an extent in here. Okay. So yeah, I just want him to not be panic attacking, basically, just kind of helping him breathe.
Yep. You do that. Meanwhile, Leo is crossing the floor towards you. Who's in the front, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoever is at the point of this spear, let's say, he sticks a hand out towards you and says, Leo Donhammer, Architect of Elysium. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Hello.
So,
Thank you.
Shake his hand.
I shake his hand as
it's-
Marleman, band of blunderers.
Wow.
Band of blunderers.
I thought we were the problem solvers.
Problem
you changed the
solvers. I
title
guess
up,
that is
bro.
the outside of lore name. Yeah.
Yes.
Problem solvers. It's a absolute pleasure to meet you all. My dear sister was bringing me up to speed on what brought you here, and I can absolutely promise you this. We will take care of this pesky caretaker problem on the outside. Our sincerest apologies on that one.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
That's a 18 plus a big number. 18 plus 8.
He seems
26.
genuine.
Okay.
He said 18 plus 8.
Yes, sir.
Oh, apologies. You beat him by 1. So well done on that one. He rolled a 25 on his deception check.
Good
Ooh.
lord.
It's less of an outright lie and more of the meaning is wrong. Everything he's saying is probably the truth, but what you want the caretaker problem to be solved as and what he is saying the caretaker problem to be solved as is wildly different.
He believes that he is right, and it will. Yes, I
Right.
understand exactly where
Yes.
you're coming from here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
What do you plan to do about it?
Well, we're going to. I am going to step outside of Elysium, head downstairs, and make the necessary changes to make sure that the. You said army of automatons. He kind of looks at Corin, who is just gritting her teeth and enraged. Make sure that they stand down. We never intended there to be any sort of force associated with this. People are allowed to leave, of course, if they so choose. So.
So what you're saying is that what you built got away from you. You're saying-
This is not him pausing. This is me trying to think of
I
his
love this
way
line of questioning. Yeah.
responding.
And by line
Um,
of questioning, I mean line of
specific-
accusations.
Right. I'm
Pretty much,
specifically
yeah.
doing this to see how he takes getting
Yeah.
insulted or getting his intelligence questioned.
Yes. He kind of
You're the
smiles
man I
at you.
go to for that experience.
He kind of
Sigh.
smiles at you, Sai, and says, "Absolutely. As it turns out, if you you just sort of let a spirit and let a being control itself for long enough, it gets away from you. As it turns out, I didn't put in enough restriction on it. What do I know?"
So, as it stands, the caretaker's taken over the city. It's created an army of robots. And for some reason, when we go there, we're not in our forms like this. We look like animals. That also on Get Away From You too?
That part I can't answer for you. That's got nothing to do on my side. That sounds like some weird magic mumbo jumbo that happens far above me.
I look at Corin. what is her
She kind
face
of-
say?
So this never or did this
She's
happen?
just sort of been locked. She's just sort of been locked in rage for most of this, but there is a bit of a, yeah, this actually probably isn't on this fucking dipshit. This one, that was
Okay.
probably above him.
Okay. Fair enough.
Make a intelligence check, Phaedra.
Oh, okay. Intelligence check. Oh, okay. Wait, hang on. Check, not save. I'm a smart person. 16.
Okay. Putting together what was just said plus everything Darwin had told you before, this sounds more like a consequence of whatever has caused the Lost City to become lost, and less of the weird shit that's happening here.
Okay.
The matter transitioning into animal form has probably more to do with whatever you passed through to get here, and less of what's happening here.
Okay.
You passed through the elemental plane of chaos and came out weird on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we do not know for sure what the robots would have done because we kept running away from them. We are not 100% sure of what they would have done with us, correct?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we heard them talk about assimilation.
Was
The
that what they?
robots.
I'm just trying to remember, like.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did say something along the lines of prepare for assimilation.
Okay, so
Okay.
they would have forced us in here regardless.
You get that idea.
Okay. If that's the case, couldn't they, take measures to prevent people from escaping?
Well, certainly, I would suppose so, but, from what Corin has been telling me about her comings and goings here, it seems like if you're fast enough and clever enough, they can't stop you, so.
It helps if you're a cat.
Yeah.
Not
So-
going to ask.
I'm sorry. I'm a little confused. So the caretaker, he was there to keep the city running, right? That was his original design.
Yes,
So that if
their original design, but yes.
yes, their original design. So if someone wanted to continue to live in the city would be okay, right? That
Certainly.
was what the caretaker was for.
Certainly, the caretaker was meant just purely to run Elysium. The other things that seems to be happening far outside of its design parameters.
To run Elysium or Arendelle?
Elysium.
Well, that doesn't help Arendelle. I thought it
Well-
was to keep Arendelle safe while people were in Elysium.
No, certainly not. It's more of a. Arendelle is buildings and streets and grass and the things like that. The people who make Arendelle are here in Elysium, so the caretaker's job was to make sure that our society persevered, that nothing came to impact Elysium. Part of that was making sure that the infrastructure and structure of the city seemed to continue running, of course. But no, its primary function is to make sure that all of us here in Elysium are exactly where we're supposed to be.
I see now how that got messed up.
Can I try to do something real quick?
Sure.
Can I non-verbally communicate with my helper?
With your oh, sure, yeah.
and just kind of think a question to it of, does the caretaker have any knowledge of what happens in Elysium?
The caretaker AI operates completely outside of Elysium.
Okay. Go on.
I don't know. I need something else to respond off of. Leo at this point kind of looks at all of you and says, so with all of this kind of addressed and identified, our most sincere apologies again for the trouble that you went through. I am going to depart Elysium now and take care of the issues with caretaker. If you would all like to join me, we can make sure that you're all protected from the robots. We'll head down. We'll make the changes needed to caretaker, and you can all be on your merry way. What is it that brought you here to the city? Regardless, did you need anything?
More just following a rumor. We are the problem solvers. We were just kind of curious if there really was a lost city of glass.
Fair enough. Sounds like a honorable job for a group of wonderful adventurers.
I'll gesture to what's his name, the dude we came with,
Darwin.
Yeah, and be like, and we could probably use a brilliant mind to help us with that. So,
you see, that's certainly
Thank you
why
so
I'm
much,
going
Jay,
along.
for continuously helping me blow smoke up this dude's ass. Just
I love it. I love it so much.
Darwin does get a small smile at this level of pumping, but Leo's smile kind of takes over, and it is icy as he looks at your side and says, "Exactly, you've got the most brilliant mind in all of the city going with you to take care of this." With that, let's go.
Yeah.
And he
Before
kind
we
of
go,
pushes
Darwin,
past all of you and begins to walk outside.
Before we leave, a
buddy, you're
question.
coming with us.
Yes, certainly.
How do you have access to whatever this guy explained some stuff about how we are re-put back together when we leave this place?
Of course.
Do you have access to the thing that decides what parameters are used in that case?
Of course, yes.
Because we would, I heard your my friend over there refer to something, or how we were taking other forms. Would this be something that we could use to correct that?
Oh, certainly. The systems of Elysium are built in such a way that you should be able to. It's how you envision yourself when you depart. So as long as you envision yourself as your own body in the way that you want to look, you should be reconstructed that exact way. It's not a one-to-one system. We don't take a fingerprint, so to speak, and kind of put you together that way. It's more how you see yourself, you'll be out. So in that case, if you wanted a bigger dick on your way out, you can imagine it. We'll kind of pull some material and make that happen for you.
You've revealed a lot more about yourself through this conversation than I was prepared for, and I respect that.
you seem like the kind of guy that's got truck nuts on your teleporter.
But I appreciate almost everything you just said.
Wonderful. Let's go. And he kind of blows past all of you out the doors.
On his twin Hemi Ford F-250.
God, I love this piece of shit.
Hate this.
Quickly
Well,
following.
we don't have to take him with us because he's an ass.
It's just like Trev has just like a long list in his head of just like people that it's gonna be awesome when I get to kill.
Oh, this dude made the list immediately for Sai. That's why he's being such an asshole to him.
With that, Leo has kind of made his way outside and begins walking towards the dirt path to lead back towards the forest. Corin is still standing in the center of the room. You notice now she hasn't really moved since you've all arrived, besides to glare and, participate in the conversation that way, let's say. But you do hear her very quietly mutter as she begins to walk towards the exit past all of you. That honestly went better than I expected.
Nice.
I'm gonna ask her if she's okay.
Yeah, I was curious about her too.
Oh, let's not pretend we're friends, shall we? She kind of blows past you all as well and makes her way outside.
I check on Goober.
So Darwin, thanks to the wonders of the Calm Emotions spell, because the focus was on just kind of quelling the panic, but making sure that nothing else sort of rose up along with it. He has basically been as Xanax stoned out as you could possibly
Literally just gonna
be.
say this dude's on a Xanny bar and
Yep.
living life.
He's just kind of there at this point. He got the compliment that Sai pointed his way and was like, "Yeah, man," like just kind of that floated through. But he may as well be on cloud 9.
Beautiful.
Okay. All right.
He is Preston Lacey standing on top of a fucking set of porta potties whacking at airplanes level of high out of his mind. For those who don't get that
Okay.
reference, you should watch Jackass
Yeah.
2.5.
I don't think I
Oh,
should,
okay.
to be fair, but
I-
that's
No.
I'm on Team Gary with this one.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. But yeah, do you guys just kind of all follow?
Yep.
Who is half carrying Darwin because he needs the help?
I guess I'll take him. It's,
yeah, it's her fault. So
my bad.
Okay,
It's my bad. I'll take him.
you help him kind of stand up and make your way out. By the time you guys make it out to the street itself, both of the Dawn Hammer siblings are like most of the way back to the dirt path and kind of fading into the distance. You all follow along back down the way you came, back along the dirt path. After a couple of minutes of walking, Darwin's faculties do return to himself, and he quickly realizes what is happening, that you all are leading him towards the exit. And what was a full-blown social anxiety-based panic attack around being addressed by people who hate, or being around people who clearly hate him. This is a different sort of moment. This is I don't actually want to go where you all are going. This has been a joy to meet you all, but I'm going to go back to my cabin and read a book. And honestly try and forget that I ever met you all. So this has been great and fun, but I'm going to go.
How good are you at puzzles?
I am exceptionally good at puzzles, thank you.
Okay. Well, see, we have this puzzle we're trying to solve, and we
Yeah.
really need your help with it.
I honestly don't care.
What if I told you were one of the pieces of the puzzle?
Go on.
I'll bring it. Do you want me to take out the copy of that prophecy we got somewhere in my
I'm playing with the magic of the space, and I snap my fingers, and a copy of the riddle appears in my hands.
Okay.
And I give it to him, and I say, "Read this."
He kind of looks at it and says, Okay. None of this sounds like me. So I don't know where you got this idea that this was in any way, shape, or form about me, although I do appreciate it.
Anyone?
okay. You're just gonna set it up and then not follow through. Okay.
I forget who was it. Encyclopedia Bot that told us it was him.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, well then we should probably tell him about Encyclopedia Bot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right.
You're telling me that somewhere on the prime material plane there is an automaton that just knows everything. Listen, I've gone along with you guys for a pretty long time, and honestly, you've got the Dawn Hammers convinced that there's an army of robots standing outside that door, and I still don't believe it. So,
well, why don't you
Listen.
come with us, see what we're talking about, and then if we're wrong, you can go back.
because I'm pretty content here in my wonders of not knowing. Okay?
But what
Thank you.
happens if you
You would-
know?
That's some great stuff.
You would-
like,
I'm surprised that somebody like you, who would be so excited by ignorance, you would think that'd be the opposite of what you'd be interested in.
Ooh, maybe,
No, it could
make a
be-
persuasion
it
check,
could-
Trev. That was good.
That's
Could be
almost
useful.
that's like almost an intimidation.
The only
Like,
problem is that I am not actually charismatic. I just know what to say.
Yeah, can I say something that might give him advantage on that?
Sure, you could try.
We can get you outside of the bubble. If you leave here, you can leave here. You don't have to stay in the bubble.
I'm not going to say that gives advantage, but it does lower the DC.
Okay.
So that's not enough to like push it really over the edge, but it is enough to make him more amiable.
There's more to life, Darwin, than contentment.
All right, well,
That
the
part he
dice
might
has
not be
given-
into. He might
The
not
dice
be,
has given me the best it's going about as good as it's going to give me because I'm not going to do. I don't have anything to offer. That's a 17.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
He
Yeah,
kind
plus
of
0. I just needed to roll really well.
he kind of nods. He looks at you and says, "Okay, look. If all of this gets settled, and again, I'm just going to go on faith here that you all aren't coming up with some big harebrained scheme to try and make this go away. But if the caretaker issues are settled and everything is taken care of out there, just come back. Just come back. I'll be sitting in the cabin. And if you come back, I promise that I will, at the very least, entertain the idea of leaving the bubble."
Could you do that now?
It's
No.
a start.
Well, what happens if we go out there and what's his name can't fix it because he's an idiot?
Then come back and get me, and I'll take care of it.
Yeah,
But let's
actually, a
put it
really
this way.
important question for you about how this thing works because you built it. If it starts, just spitballing, if this system just sort of starts to collapse, are you and anybody else in here going to have an opportunity to get out before your consciousnesses are lost forever?
Well, certainly
Just ask.
the fail-safes of Elysium are such that if Elysium was to fail for any sort of reason, we'd just be put back together and spat back out.
Oh,
Assuming
fantastic.
you
All
have
right,
the
I got
matter.
all I need. I'm going to catch you later.
All right, boss.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what are you? At this point, you're all gone.
Poor
If you want to know more,
I
you
have
should come
said
with
2
us.
sentences
Yeah, you
to this
should come with
guy,
us.
and neither of them are anything he wanted to hear.
We
Nope.
don't control this guy. He's rogue.
Oh.
Not in the slightest.
Maybe if you come with us, we can find an
He's
action.
gone. You're all
We all
gone.
left.
He
Okay,
doesn't
all
have
right.
enough confidence to follow us. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, you all find your way back to the small wooden fence and the dirt path that leads to the dark green forest. By the time you arrive there, the Dawnhammers are both gone. They've already entered the forest and have probably transported to the other side. And so you all, I assume, step through and begin the process of coming back out.
Marleman walks through thinking he's 2 inches taller.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sai puts on some muscle.
Yep.
Marlon
Yep.
wishes he were a
Definitely a bigger
baller,
dick.
a little bit taller.
Marleman wishes he was a baller. He wishes he was a little bit taller.
Is there candy paint on your Impaler?
What's really so the Marlin wants to be a little bit taller thing. That's great. What's funny to me is the Sai wants a little bit more muscle tone. Since Sai is a
He's already
ball
beefed
of
up.
elven
I was
muscle,
gonna say
Yeah.
he's a wide boy.
We're turning beefcake into swollen cannoli or Kenobi or whatever.
Swolo
Yeah.
Kenobi.
Swallow cannoli. I love that.
That's what
man, I really hope.
I'm.
I'm just gonna put this out there in the world right now. The 3 people this matters towards, but just keep this in mind for the next campaign. Whenever we get around to it, one of you does need to play a dense small dwarf named Cheese, so we can recreate Cheese Beef Tank moving forward. Just with the horrible fashion sense and everything.
Swolly cannoli.
I have a
Swallow cannoli is my new.
I have a rage buried deep inside. As you all exit through this forest, the process is not unsimilar to what it felt like going in. Luckily, none of you are on the other side to see what it looks like, but boy, howdy, does it look like a Cronenberg movie in reverse. Your eyes come back first, and then your nervous system and everything. It's a gross time.
Like what happened to Dr. Manhattan.
I was about to say, it's kind of Dr.
Oh,
Manhattan-y.
Yeah.
But you all step out of the crystal, the gem, Elysium, whichever way you want to phrase this, back to yourselves. You look like yourselves. Marleman, you do feel a little bit taller. Sai, you do feel a little bit more like a baller. You know,
Aramil's in the corner looking like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He made a mistake.
yeah.
I
What did
turned
you do,
into the
Aramil?
Sinoli cannoli on the way out.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of
Imagine yourself
frightening.
as an animal. Honestly.
Yes,
I'd be
that was
coming out
more
of
of my
human
fear that
eyes.
Armel was going to think of himself as an animal and then fucking Tobias from Animorphs himself.
No, no.
You say it like a bad thing, but for our Aramel, that doesn't sound that bad.
No, that sounds-
It would get complicated real quick.
Uh-huh.
It would.
But as you all exit Elysium, you are greeted with the sight of the kind of gray, overcast sky above. You come out in the exact spot that you had entered in through. So you see the broken bridge in front of you, but the army of Rubbits is not on the other side of the bridge because they're on this side of the bridge.
Fun.
That's probably bad.
4 of them have Corin held down to the ground as Leo, standing in front of his army, turns and looks at you and says, now let's take care of this problem the only way we know how, shall we? And we'll pick up from there.
Fucking knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course.
He didn't
I think I have a
comment.
My problem is that I'm too willing to be betrayed because I'm convinced that I can kill everybody who might betray me.
Oh.
So yeah, what's the worst that could happen? They die, whatever.
They or me die, who knows?
There's definitely a little bit of that in everything Marleman does as well.
True.
Mm.
All right.
I'm going to touch this crystal, but I might die.
Oh, you didn't die. Hey, you didn't die.
Hey, everyone, we didn't do a die.
Yeah. We're going to
We're
end
definitely
that
like-
broadcast there.